Hello and welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are so inclined. In today's video, we're taking a look at these. It's the ARCTIS Pro Wireless from SteelSeries, and it comes with this, a nice little box of goodies. But anyway, this thing retails for about £300, and why I'd say this is the winner of the best gaming headset, not from the makers of, like they plaster all over their other headsets, the actual best. So I'm looking forward to this. Let's get into it. So I guess we may as well start with the microphone test for this headset. At least that's something that you yourself can objectively review from your side. So let's just give it a go. And sticking with the new format, by the way, of just reading the blurb on the box as the mic test, I find this to be quite good. A, it saves me time writing anything, and B, it's sometimes kind of funny and informative at the same time. Educational videos and all that. But we'll start with the actual spec for the mic itself. It's a bi-directional noise cancelling microphone, which is very good. Sure you heard that, I'll try it with the keyboard in a second. It has an advertised frequency response range of 100 to 10,000 Hz. Now that does cut out a lot of the pointless high end. It also drops a lot of the low end as well. We'll try it with the pop filter. Now I'm not going to mute it for this, just you definitely should, because this is what it sounds like to your friends if you decide to put this on mid-game. It's not a nice sound. They would appreciate you muting just for that. But I guess we'll jump in, we'll have a quick go with the keyboard and see what this actually sounds like, whether it is noise cancelling. I have had reports from my friends that they can actually hear me typing. I do have a very noisy mechanical keyboard. This is not it. This is just the membrane. But anyway, here we go. I just type my name. I'm not typing anything. This is a more accurate to how I would sit, I suppose. But there you are. Again, I didn't type anything. I just made noise because I enjoyed it. But there's the mic. It does sound a bit better with the pop filter on. It does add a bit more depth. That's just the pop filter doing its thing and filtering out all the nonsense. But ultimately, for $300, I would expect a better mic. But it's kind of getting dated now. And I am very much looking forward to SteelSeries' next range of headsets. I'm hoping they call it the ARCTIS. That would be grand. Just everything on the opposite ear cup. But there we are. The mic's pretty good. It's definitely passable. You can understand everything I'm saying. And I'm confident that this is Discord certified, whatever that means. But let's move on. Now in terms of the audio for this headset, there's a clear difference between these and all the others in the ARCTIS range. These are definitely much better. There's much more depth to the audio. There's definitely still a precision of the sound that you do get with the ARCTIS range. However, this comes with a lot more depth, a lot more warmth, and it's just better all around. Now these are 40mm neodymium drivers and they are high resolution certified. However, it does say on the SteelSeries website that the wireless is lossless. Now you can't certify high resolution audio over wireless, you just can't. It's as simple as that. There's no certification for it. However, SteelSeries' argument is such that their wireless signal is lossless, so if you're losing none of that high resolution signal, then by definition the signal will still be high resolution. So I won't even argue that. They've done a very good job with the audio of this headset. In terms of the design of the ARCTIS Pro, it's not dissimilar at all to the 7s and the 9s, which is to be expected. Now it does have the replaceable headband strap, which is all very lovely, and that's wrapped around this glorious piece of aluminium. It's just a solid piece of metal and feels extremely rigid. I've said this on previous reviews of headsets within the ARCTIS range, and that strap itself, as the headband, it's very functional. They call it ski goggle, but it's just a suspension headband. Now what this does is distribute the weight across your skull quite evenly to reduce that point loading that you get with some heavier headsets, which is all very lovely. And then we come down to these arms. Now, the arms themselves have two clear points of stress. We have here, where this connects, as it doesn't connect directly to the ear cup itself, which then flexes round to this point, just here on the ear cup to give it that swivel there, which is all very nice, but it does make me feel, is this kind of weak? Now I've had comments previously on the channel for the other ARCTIS range around them breaking here, but I've yet to see this. No one I know that's got this headset has had this issue, but I can see how that might be the case. Now it's definitely metal on the inside of this bracket, just with a plastic housing, but like I said, I've not known any of them break for me. Most of the good stuff on the ear cups themselves are on the left ear cup, which I've said many times. I like my trigger finger to be free when doing things like this. The mute switch is a depression switch, but it's oversized and massive, and I really like that. You get a very good tactile feeling when pressing in this mute switch, which is all very nice. And you do get a light at the end of the retractable microphone. It does light up red to indicate you're on mute, and it's just off when you're not, which is all very good, and that just retracts into the headset. Coming down from there, we have the volume wheel. Now this volume wheel is an infinity wheel, so it just keeps going and going, but it feels very good. It feels quite expensive. There's grooves as you cycle through, and there's no acceleration at all, so you don't get any weirdness with the audio as you're scrolling the volume up. Coming away from that, we do have a share port just under there, and then the 3.5mm jack if you're wanting to play on console. Things like that, that's a definite recommend. Also good for listening to music. When I ran this through the audio interface, it sounded far better using the 3.5mm jack. Beneath that, we've got the micro USB charging port, which on a £300 headset seems ridiculous, I know, and I've mentioned many times on this channel how much I'd prefer all of this to be Type-C. However, in this instance, you're not going to be using it a great deal. So far, the only time I've used it is to update the firmware on the headset itself, which leads us nicely on to the other ear cup, where all we have on there is the power switch, which is just a depression switch which you hold for however long and until the white light comes on, and the Bluetooth, which is very lovely. Now the thing with the micro USB, the reason I've only used this once for the firmware and not for charging up is because on this right hand ear cup, once you take this off, which by the way, these click on, they're just magnetic on both and they are very, very replaceable, but that's at an extra expense, and after you paid £300 you probably don't want to make that. But anyway, by the by, under here is a replaceable battery. You simply take this battery out when it's dead, and you have another in here, which you just slide out and replace, which is very, very good. I do very much appreciate that SteelSeries. That saves an inordinate amount of annoyance and frustration. There's no dock to sit this on and charge, which is why you've got the replaceable batteries, but those batteries have been replaceable. In headsets where you can't replace the battery, they will die. It's a simple fact. Batteries will give out, they will get weaker and weaker, and the time you have to use them will be less and less and less, which is a very good reason for having these. Presumably you could buy new batteries from SteelSeries, which is great. Now that takes us on to this. The actual dock that comes with it, which is very good. It's a very nice design. It's quite weighty, but not overly so. It does have rubber stoppers for your desk, so it doesn't move around or anything like that. And as we've shown at the side, it does have a charging port for the battery itself. Now on the back, in terms of the connections, we do have line in and line out, so you can use this as a pass-through for your audio system to your PC, which is all very good. Got the power, obviously. Then we've got the USB. Now, I don't use the power cable, one didn't come with it, it's just powered through the USB by my PC. Very, very lovely. And then we've got optical in and optical out, again, for more home theatre pass-through. Just bear in mind on optical, it's not high-resolution audio, which can be quite frustrating if you're watching something you really want to hear it. If you spent money on equipment, don't use optical. Use actual cabling itself. Then we have this. The general wheel is just to change the volume. However, it does have a button in, so you can cycle through many different things, such as a chat-to-game mixer. Unlike the 7s and the 9s, this doesn't have the chat-to-game mixer on the ear cup. It's simply on here, and it's very easy to get to. Just a quick click twice, and then scroll between either. All very lovely. I like the layout of how they've got the volume set up on this. You can also change the EQ. It's very nice, it's very well put together, it feels expensive. Like I said, although there are clear weak points here on the hinge itself, I've not known any issues to arise with them. But there we are, the build is very, very nice, it's very comfy to wear, all very, very good. So what do we get in the box of this $300 headset? Well, from the outset, I just want to point out that you get not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5. That's 5 cables with this wireless headset, which I just found remarkable. But anyway, let's move on. We get the usual obligatory user/product information guide, which is all very lovely. Unusually, for an ARCTIS headset, we do get a pop filter for the mic, which I can only assume is for when you're outdoors, because it does cover up the red LED to indicate when you are on mute. So swings and roundabouts, but if you're outside, your friends will appreciate you speaking with a pop filter, I assure you. But anyway, with the cables themselves, we've got the audio cable, which is for your mobile device. So if you have a phone that still has a 3.5mm, A, well done, and B, you can use this with that, and it just has the connector to go into the side of the headset, alternatively through your laptop, anything like that. We then have the mobile charging cable. Again, you don't need to always have this with you. You can charge the headset simply with this wire with the battery already inserted into the right ear cup, which is all very lovely as well. We also get this, which is the USB audio cable. Now this is the cable that connects this unit to your device, whether that be your PC or your PS4/5, which is all very nice, and it's about 1.5 meters long, so you do get a bit of range with that. We also then get the power cable. Now the power cable is in fact for this, but you would only require it should you were using this, which is the optical lead. Now the optical lead makes things very easy. You just plug it in one side to this, one side to your computer, good to go, and that's it. But you cannot get high resolution audio, which is unfortunate. However, when you jack in using the USB cable, you absolutely can, and then you don't need to use the power cable. It's already powered via the USB, which is all very lovely. And of course, we get this, the wonderful little box. The box of joy, I call it, which does look very pretty on your desk, but does have a tendency, once you touch it, to just pick up fingerprints. You might be able to pick this up. I'm not particularly warm nor sweaty today, and I've washed my hands since eating, so there's no real grease on there, but yet I can still see fingerprints. But it's a nice little collection, especially with the wires. I do find it very funny that you get 5 wires for a wireless headset, but at the same time, they're all very functional. They're all for a specific purpose, and it feels like SteelSeries have just thought all that through and thought, sod it. Throw it all in the same box, and then whatever the customer needs, they have to hand. So kudos to that SteelSeries. But there we are. That's what's in the box of this $300 headset. So in conclusion, would I recommend this headset for $300? It's probably a yes. I mean, right now we have Black Friday around the corner, so it might be best to wait just to see if you can save a few dollars on the headset itself. But overall, it's very good. Audio, very good. Comfort, very good. I like that I can replace the headband strap. I like that I can replace the ear cups. I like that I can replace the outside housing, and I love that it has a replaceable battery and you always have one to hand to put back in it. I really like this little device. I don't like the branding on the top. That irritates me a bit, but I do like it. It looks pretty slick on the desk with no RGB, which I'm a massive fan of. The only thing I dislike about this headset is the microphone, and dislike is a strong word. I just feel that on a headset that costs $300, I'd have expected more from the mic, and I'm very much looking forward to the next iteration of things from SteelSeries. But overall from me, it's a definite yes. Well done SteelSeries, I think you've done a stellar job. Hopefully you can produce more like that, but for a more reasonable amount of money down the line. But if you did like the video, please do leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, why not subscribe? If you do want to buy this headset, the link will be in the description below, but it is an Amazon affiliate link, so I will get a bit of a kickback for that, but it does go back into the channel. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.